Okay, so I'm a little late to my Joker era, but just so you know, I have definitely entered it. So 2022 was a pretty good year. However, it was a horrible year for reading for me. Just like kind of disappointed in myself, but at the same time, like I don't really want to participate in like reading challenges like on Goodreads because like why am I challenging myself? Not a competitive person, and the last person I would want to compete with is myself. I've just kind of had enough, to be honest. Also, it's pretty much already a challenge for me to even breathe. So I don't want reading to be a part of that. So yeah. Simultaneously, I have a lot of books on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet. Throughout the year of 2023, I just want to like get through them. Like get through them so I can say that I've read all of the bookshelves. I just want to get through them so I can say that I read every book on my bookshelf, and it also gives me more of an excuse to buy more books. I don't know, I just kind of feel guilty buying so many new books and then not reading the ones that are already on my shelf. But it's definitely not a goal that I want to kind of squish into 1 year. So these are the books on my bookshelf that I have not read yet. Let's get started. So the first book is Cersei. I feel like I've said that I've read this before, but I'm a pathological liar, so I actually haven't read this. This is by Madeline Miller, who's the same author as The Song of Achilles, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Like, it's just so fucking good. Some people say that The Song of Achilles is very overhyped, but I think it's like appropriately hyped. Like, it's a really good book, especially if you want to get into like Greek mythology. Like, The Song of Achilles is a great like starter, I guess. I don't know, I might be wrong. But yeah, Cersei is a Cersei, like she's Cersei, like slay. Okay, we're off to a bad start. The reason I want to read this book is because I have been listening to this podcast of this guy who like just like says random like words and then like explains them for some reason. Like I don't know, he doesn't like explain the word, but he like, I don't know, it's a if you know what podcast I'm talking about, it's such a good podcast. But the thing that really gets me is his voice. He had this episode where he was like, oh, I'm really into like dreams, and I know a lot about dreams and just like how humans and thinking and the psychology behind dreams. And I was like, oh my god, I really want to know more about this. And then he never talked about it again. He said he was gonna do an episode on it, but he never did. So it's just like, oh, okay. So I saw this on my uncle's bookshelf and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn about dreams myself. Thank you very much. I think this is like a dream dictionary. Like basically if you have a dream and like say you have a dream about a cloud, you like go in this book, search cloud, and then it'll tell you like what that means. I guess this is like a dictionary of symbolism, which is great. You can use, oh my god, you can like totally use this if you like write fiction. Like book of symbolism. Like next book is by Terry and it's called Slated. Slay. I got this in 2014 and I have never read it because I wasn't feeling it. So it's just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just never gonna pick it up again. And then I saw it on my bookshelf and I was like, wait, Slated? Right up my alley. Plus the cover kind of looks like Cara Delevingne. Cara Delevingne in a mix of like Kaya Scolorado, the girl who plays Effie from Skins. So I was like, slay. So the blurb says, Kyla's memory has been erased. Her personality wiped blank. Her memories lost forever. She has been slated. The government claims that she was a terrorist and they are giving her a second chance as long as she plays by their rules. Slated. Okay, up next is Jiu Jitsu Kaizen, which is a manga series, and this is the first volume. I plan on reading it online because it is very expensive to collect manga, and I just can't like bring myself to collect like full collections. The second season of Jiu Jitsu Kaizen is coming in July 2023, which is perfect because it's in the summer. I won't be reading the chapters that the second season covers in the anime, because when it comes to like anime, I like to like watch the anime first and then read it. I just prefer it that way. Next thing I have is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I know that there are more books in this series. It did start out as a trilogy, and I just plan to read it as a trilogy. So we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, and Library of Souls. And I genuinely have no idea what these books are about. I haven't seen the movie. I'm like a fuck ton years late, but what I do know is that the author of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is married to the woman who wrote the like Shatter Me series, I think. Oh, and I actually borrowed these two books from my best friend Charlotte, but she hasn't bothered to fly back here, so I'm keeping these forever now. Thank you, Charlotte. Okay, the next book is kind of fucking stupid, but hear me out. I got a bunch of free books. I forgot from who, but I just got a bunch of free books in like a bundle. This was part of it. This is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, who is the COO of Facebook. And it says Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. I just want to know if she's a girl boss or if she's just some conservative Republican who would laugh if I told her my pronouns. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who this woman is. I don't care. I don't use Facebook. I just okay, the next book I have is The Rolling Stones, and I got this when I was like in 6th grade. And in 6th grade I had this wonderful librarian. His name was Mr. Damien. Mr. Damien, I'm pretty sure you don't remember who I am, but just know that you literally changed my life. Anyway, we had this book fair and this was for like $1. It was like, actually, you know what, you don't even have to pay anymore. Just take it home with you because you know who the Rolling Stones are. So yeah. I love Mick Jagger. I love Mick Jagger. Don't tell me if he's problematic. I don't want to know. Okay, so the next book we have is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. And I actually read this before, but I completely forgot what it was about. And this is the same author of The Kite Runner. And if you haven't read The Kite Runner, do that right now. What's your homework? Read The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. So this story follows Mariam, who is 15 years old, and she's sent off to Kabul to marry this guy named Rashid. And then she meets this woman who's named Layla, and they form a friendship. And then the Taliban take over, and then shit goes down from there. Yeah, so I actually recommend this book, and I really want to reread it next year, so. Next book we have is Messi, and not the football player. The Power of Disorder to Transform Our Lives, and this is written by Tim Harford. I have no idea what this is about. All I know is that it's nonfiction, and my uncle got this for me at the airport. I don't know what made my uncle pick this up. No offense to my uncle, but I am not a messy person. Maybe my brain is, but not my surroundings. So maybe he should just like keep that to himself. Thank you very much. Also, I really don't like reading self-help because I just don't want to help myself. Okay, the last 3 books I have are classics. So the first book I want to read is Moby Dick. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I saw my friend Stephanie reading this book, and I think she had to read it for school or something, and I was like, I want to read Moby Dick. I have a copy of Moby Dick, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet, so Moby Dick. Next book is a book that I actually read in the beginning of this year, which is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, and I really want to get into more Virginia Woolf next year. But this isn't actually a novel. This is an essay that she wrote, and basically it was her being a feminist girl boss way ahead of her time. Okay, this is a pretty like dark book to end this video with, but the last book that I want to read is Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. I actually want to read this as like wider reading because I take history, so. Okay, so those are all the books that I want to read for the year of 2023. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye. I just got this lip tint. It has like cute little tomatoes on it. I think I'm having an allergic reaction to it, honestly, but it's so cute. I'm gonna persevere wearing it. Okay, so I got these new headphones. And I don't know if like the mic works. I look like Sid from Skins, but like just a little bit more dry and crusty.